The NHL is heading to Las Vegas, and for details, we're joined by Jim Litke of the Associated Press. Jim, the NHL beats the NFL as the first pro franchise heading to Las Vegas. How big is this for the NHL?
Well, we have yet to find out. My guess is that this is going to turn out to be a very successful operation. Getting in there first is going to be very, very important. There's not a lot of corporate money. I mean, there's obviously the casino money. There's not a lot of corporate money in Vegas. They've only got 44 luxury suites in the new T-Mobile Arena that's been put up. And yet, my guess is that the hotels, as sort of packages, entertainment packages, and even just complimentary tickets, will be able to fulfill the roles that corporations fill in lots of other big cities. So, long story short, I think it's going to turn out to be a very, very good turn. And if some of the rumors that are floating around about what players the Las Vegas team is going to be entitled to draft from other squads is as promising as it sounds, they could be competitive very, very early on, and they'll probably join the entry draft the same year they join the league for the 2017-18 season.
Why expand the NHL as opposed to moving another franchise there?
Great question. That's an easy one to answer, too. Money. M-O-N-E-Y. I mean, hockey has been desperate for a national footprint forever. They've done a pretty good job in the States. Frankly, I would have hoped that, they were talking about a suburb in Toronto. There's maybe been some talk of Ontario. I think they need more Canadian teams, but frankly, they've got to go where the money is. And Vegas is a very, very promising and lucrative market, and certainly easier to get off the ground than most places because the arena is already in place.
You mentioned the arena, the money in Las Vegas. How do you see Vegas fitting an NHL franchise? How about the culture?
I think it's going to be a little, it'll be a very much a unique thing to begin with. In other words, people will want to be there because of it's different from what else is available in Vegas. I think you won't find a lot of hockey fans, although you'll probably find a lot of summer or winter birds vacationing in Las Vegas who will have want to see hockey. I think in the case of the Florida Panthers, for instance, you're probably looking at a market that does fairly well with the Canadian snowbirds coming down. So, again, I think for all sorts of reasons, it'll be successful. And again, I want to stress the importance of getting some good players early. It's going to be very hard to sustain a franchise there if they're not reasonably competitive in the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Absolutely. Finally, Jim, what's the timeline for this? What are the next steps, and when are we seeing a hockey game in T-Mobile Arena?
Well, my guess is going to be 2017 and the 2017-2018 season. That will give them a year, basically, to develop a practice facility, to come up to scout some players, to start to look at realistically who's going to be on the offer sheets of the other franchises. There's been some talk about teams being able to protect as few as 8 skaters and a goaltender, or possibly 2. And that's going to leave a lot of promising young players, at least those who don't have no movement clauses in their contracts. So my guess is this franchise could be up and running. Bill Foley, the guy that's leading the movement right now, and he's got the Maloof brothers on his side. So I don't think money is going to be a drawback with this squad. And Foley has proven himself a pretty committed guy. He's been talking about funding some youth leagues, funding some other rinks in the community to get kids involved. And so everything seems to be pointing to a quick, successful effort, but it wouldn't be the first time in sports a wrench got thrown into the works. So let's call it tentative 2017-18.
Well, certainly a lot to watch here moving forward. Pretty exciting stuff as well. Jim, thanks so much for the insight.
Thanks for having me.